with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we're going to be looking at numbers of issues starting from Rivers State. Police uncovered organ syndicate, arrest one person. On bilateral relations, Nigeria and UAE face off settled visa insurance begins soon. That's from HFG. On economy, government reforms should not push Nigerians into poverty. That's from Ajero. These are the issues we'll be looking at today when we return from this short break. I will introduce my guests for today's show.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourable
you human trafficker.
Honourable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, and trades. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Honourable
is on the path.
From the line to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. To catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe, stay focused on the fact today only.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. And remember that you can join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. And you can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. We return after this short break. I have two guests. Welcome back. Joining us on this conversation this afternoon is Omoweri Amos, a River State Chairman, Augmented Union of App-Based Transporters of Nigeria. And also Ikunga will also join us. He is a youth leader, Sim Vanguard Rumokoro Clan, Obiakpo, local government area, River State. Let's look at our first story for today. Meanwhile, Mr. Amos, you are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar.
All right, it's good to have you on set. The first story is from River State. The River State Police have arrested Anthony Chima, a 35-year-old political science graduate from Ignatius Ojiri University of Education, for his involvement in a criminal into Okpobome's disappearance and gowns led by General Etivzi into members posting as passengers to lure drivers to remote areas. The police recovered the victim's calls and a weapon from Etivzi's residence. The Commissioner of Police urged citizens and the drivers to be cautious, especially in remote areas, as the police continue to pursue other gang members. Mr. Amos, it is good to have you talk about this story. And of course, we know that the issue of e-hailing drivers being ambushed by these organ harvesters is not a new thing. It's something that is really rampant, especially in River State here. And of course, we are having here in a story that the River State police have arrested Anthony Chima, a 35-year-old political science graduate from Ignatius Ajuru University of Education that murders e-hailing cab drivers. I want to know what's the situation surrounding these stories. Are the killers also, that's the killers of the e-hailing drivers, are they also passengers, or are the drivers being attacked by organ harvesters in the course of their duties? Because we've also heard of e-hailing drivers' vehicles being snatched by these criminals. Let's get to hear from you. Maybe, of course, others will learn from this.
All right, thank you so much. Let me correct my name. It's Morley Amos, a Federal State of the Amalgamated Union of Public Transporters. Well, I'll commend the Royal Police Command what they are doing to keep the society safe. I'll just look about the arrest of those persons. You know, the last night ago, we've been faced with insecurity issues during from last year up to date. This is something we've been battling with the society. People definitely book rides. Good people will enter your car. Bad people will enter your car. You know, but again, it's all about the security measure that we have been trying to put in place in collaboration with the app companies as well. You know, so insecurity is inevitable, but our ability to clamp down it is what matters a lot. As a person, the union and the app companies are doing so much to ensure that we really meet or reduce these issues to its barest minimum.
Yes, I was about asking, what are the app companies actually doing? How are they trying to make sure that the security of drivers is at the top gear? Because you could tell that when one books one of these vehicles, you can, of course, you will see the driver's name, see the driver's phone number, of those. But what about those people that are booked? Is there any way that they can also identify these people, at least for the purpose of investigation?
Yes. Thank you. Companies have started those measures in place. Okay, for example, just recently, one of the app companies released a feature that if you want to book a ride with us, you will have to input your email address and a valid identification, valid piece of identification. That's one thing we have been collaborating for. Want all app companies to implement this in their in-app system. So anyhow, anybody can just have this card and book a ride with us. We have to know your picture has to reflect on the other side of the app. I mean the driver's app. Your pictures have to reflect your national identity card. You need something that would lead up in case something bad happens along the ride. We should be able to clamp down on those kind of people. I mean, bad people that would want to drivers during rides, and also for cameras, in-app cameras that can detect face from the back and the front view as well. So these are some of the things that we're already talking with the app companies to put in place. And by special grace, we are getting green lights for some of them, if not all. Those are some of the things that we're putting in place as well.
All right, okay. I know that I did ask some questions today, and there's something that I've noticed. Of course, I've booked boats before, and then the driver asked me my destination. I told him, and then he said, no, he can't go to that area. And what he did, he actually said something that I know that dropping this call, the boat company, they would think I want to do off-right, and with that they would definitely deduct money from me or something, or better still bring down my, I don't know whether they used to grade you people, I can't tell. Now I want to confirm, is there something that you people can also do? If you have talked about the security aspect, of course we are dwelling on that. Is there something you people can also do too? Because there are some locations the passenger is going and you are not comfortable with. Maybe the place is so lonely or something, and dropping it, you will be the one to suffer from it. Is there any way you people can also explain this to the boat company, that this is what happened, this is why you people keep rejecting some rides, not necessarily because you want to go offline?
Okay, thank you. To be very honest with you, okay, this some of the app companies, I don't know if it is, but they've done some remarkable things in the app. That's why we encourage drivers to look deeply, to what the futures that app brings, I'm not here to defend app companies because they do so much to keep the driver safe. If you book a certain ride, if you book ride to certain areas in this city, in Port Harcourt, the app will tell you if it's a red flag area or not.
Oh, really?
It will tell you, you will have to now decide as a driver if you go or you will not go. So, and this is as a result of we, as the union, constantly flag red flag areas to these app companies.
Mr. Amos, Mr. Amos, yes. I want to find out, because you just pointed out something, that when boat is being booked, that they will tell the driver if it is a place that he or she should go, that there's always a red flag. That red flag, is it as a result of traffic, or is it as a result of the insecurity in the environment? I'd like to understand that.
Yes, it's about insecurity, okay? We as a union has constantly reported certain areas to the app companies, concerning security issues. I remember there was a time last year that D-Line, D-Line was, like a hotspot. Anytime we go there, we have so many incidents that happens within that area. It was constantly reported in our system, and companies had deemed it fit to start putting it in their app system. If you get right from that area, they'll tell you it's an unsafe zone. Are you willing to go or not? So now for the driver to accept it or not. So what we do is constantly telling our drivers, our members, to always pay attention to the updates on the app, because they show it. So we keep updating those unsafe zones in River State. The police unit, which also help us a lot, they also in communication with the app company, to communicate these areas to them as well.
Okay, Mr. Amos, you are the chairman here, the spokesperson for these e-hailing drivers, and that is why I'm really so particular about all of these questions I'm asking. Are you sure that most of the e-hailing drivers, are you sure they are very much aware of the red alert? Because I'm just hearing this for the first time, that there's some environment that is not safe and they will have to alert you. I was thinking that it's about traffic. Are you sure they are aware? How often do you people hold a meeting to at least sanitize the system, tell people about the new development, new upgrade? How often do you people hold meeting to do all of this for the sake of insecurity?
Okay, as organized union, what we do is we have various branches where we send information. Most of this, all our branches have what activities are done online. We have WhatsApp communication. This is in our conversations or our conversations. We put put out this information every day. You know, red alert zone. A lot of our drivers know, and except you are not in our platform, a lot of our drivers know this already. You know, the red alert zone. Our meetings doesn't have to be every day physical. We have meetings physically, but most of the time, our information goes out every day. You know, constantly enlightening our members on the areas to avoid and not to avoid. Another thing is, as a rider and a driver, and I'm actually a ride with your family members. You know, this can also help a lot because a lot of people don't make use of this feature. As a rider, if you feel unsafe with a particular driver, you can actually ride with your friends or your family member. As a driver, you can also share details, live location with your family members and also with your friends and well-wishers. What we do as the organized union, we share, especially in the night, for our drivers that work at night, we share our live locations. When we feel like we are no longer safe with certain, we share it. We can share it to our WhatsApp group so people can, you know, people can relate with you where you are at a particular time. You know, especially with your close friends, to feel safe that people are watching and they know that you're on a ride. So the ride stops and there's no communication. Somebody calls, you know, and funny enough, the company system. If that company sees that you're in the traffic for too long and you are not moving, they will trigger you to verify if you are still the one driving your car or somebody has taken it from you. So all these measures as union pushing all these things for implementation, both from the app companies and members of the union, so it feels and secure. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Hello, Mr. Moss, are you there? Mr. Moss, can you hear me? Okay, so I was asking, now that one of the culprits has been arrested, what is the situation on ground right now?
It's not the police thing. It's not something that I can really make comments on.
Okay. All right, let's look at the next story. Okay. All right, let's look at this story. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, announced that the visa dispute between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates has been resolved. The UAE will soon lift the travel ban on Nigerians, particularly to Dubai. This development follows President Bola Tinubu's intervention in August 2023 to address diplomatic issues that lead to the ban. Kayamo made the announcement at the International Air Transport Association 80th Annual General Meeting in Dubai, where he was warmly received. He emphasized the importance of maintaining good relations with the UAE, highlighting the significant investments Nigerians have in the country. The formal announcement of the resolution is expected a few weeks. Now, the EUE imposed the visa ban on Nigerians in connection with the number of diplomatic disputes Dubai's Emirate Airline also suspended flight operations to Nigeria over Abuja's inability to send the UAE an estimated 85 million euros in revenue that Dubai said has been blocked in African Union nation. What exactly were the main issues? Because it's two different things here. We're talking about a UAE, and we're also talking about sending about 85 million euros to Dubai. Has the issue been completely settled? What is a guarantee that this will not repeat again? All right, we'll go on a very short break. When we return, we'll continue with the stories.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussion, trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
But they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
Ìyànà fẹ́ pàjọ yẹn, tàbí para wọn yẹn.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Suffering from recent reforms, Ajero highlighted the high cost of living with essential items like rice, cooking gas, and food price, making it difficult for families to survive on current wages. He criticized the government economic policies, including the removal of fuel subsidies and currently devaluations, which have led to increased inflation and poverty. Ajero emphasized that a living wage different from a minimum wage should allow families to meet their basic needs. He argued that higher wages would boost the economy by increasing workers' purchasing powers. Ajeros criticized the lack of effective reform and called for more empirical approaches to economic policies. He pointed out the burdens of taxes on workers and their diverse effects of increasing fuel price on various sectors, leading to higher costs in food, education, housing, and transportation. Ajero also condemned the government's focus on building foreign reserve while citizens face poverty and the impact of corruption on these reserves. Mr. Amos, are you with me? All right, the NLC president, Joe Ajero, of course, you are very much aware of the ongoing strike. The NLC president is still hammering on the nonchalant attitude of the federal government on the citizen, which is the reason why they are embarking on the strike, because according to him and what we, the Nigerians, are also crying about, that the price of things are so high that a common Nigeria cannot afford even the least drugs. And they are saying that if the minimum wages has not changed, they are not going to do anything about it. So what do you think about Joe Ajero's opinions? Because everybody have opinion, despite the fact that they're fighting for Nigerians. it is still his own opinion. Another person will come and say the government is doing the right thing. Joe Ajero is saying that the government is not doing the right thing. What is your take on this story?
Thank you so much. First of all, we are also for the strike action. All mandated I don't have this transport also shut down. And why is this? Because we want the minimum wage to be reviewed and increased more. In fact, if it was due for 30,000 naira, you will agree with me. Six, my Israel's but again, workers cannot live on 13,000 naira in 2024. We are going to approve this. You know, if you give a 30,000 naira to your to the market, if you take it out the market today, you are becoming probably 2 seasons of Gary, you know, and if you say you should even shut down, my company would just make Gary and few rubber of rice, you know. So for me, Joe Ajero, Labour Congress is actually on the right course, fighting for a just cause and a right cause, and I feel the federal government should review the minimum wage to match to the living wage of people, because it's not realistic. 30,000 naira is not realistic, and I that's my stand. I think it should be reviewed upward, and then not just upward, at least. If the negotiation table comes to a triple amount, and that would make sense, and not telling us that they are going to pay 60,000 naira as the case is right now. Everything has tripled. I understood the former price currently for almost 300 and something naira. So I think the price tripled. More tripled.
Are you aware that the 30,000 minimum wage, some government, local government did not pay their citizens. It was still, they were still battling with it. And now they talked about 474,000, though according to you is not realistic. And some persons, of course, are saying that too, that is not realistic. And then they are saying that they have decided that they are going to pay above 60,000, which we do not know exact amount. And they have already signed an agreement. What is your take on that? What do you think if the government couldn't pay 30,000 minimum wage, then how about above 60? Though we don't know whether it's 61, whether it's 62, we are still looking out to get to know what exactly it is and the negotiation that they have come up with. So what is the tendency that they will pay the 60, above 60,000?
You see, Nigerian business was created yesterday, and the federal government knows how much it costs for that for the last 24 to 28 hours. I am very convinced that the federal government will do.
Well, Mr. Amos is saying that he's very convinced that the federal government will do the needful. Well, we are still waiting, and I'm wondering if the federal government will really do the needful. Why are they dragging? Why are they pricing minimum wage like refuge in the market? Why are they pricing minimum wage like they want to buy okra from 30, they're going to 40, going to 57? When would they finally come up with something serious? We are still waiting to see what the federal government will do. And I'm wondering why Mr. Amos is so optimistic about what the federal government is doing. And of course, Falana has equally asked if they could sign the bill into law for national anthem. I mean, it was within 48 hours. That was quite swift. So why can't they do minimum wage like that? Why are they dragging feet? If they were able to sit seriously round table and then take decision on national anthem. Why are they now, postponing things? And why can't they just agree with Labour? Of course, my guest said, according to Emma, 474,000 is not realistic. That at least they should take it up. And maybe the Labour Union, maybe they also know that this is not realistic. At least they want the federal government to take it up. But why can't they just come up with something reasonable? I am sure that they are very much aware that a lot is going on in Nigeria. They are very much aware that the cheapest thing in Nigeria is salt. They are very much aware that things are very expensive. A rubber of gari is not something that a common man can afford. It is that expensive. So why can't they come up with something reasonable? These are all the questions that we keep asking. If they really know what is going on, or could it be because they are at the top to know what the people are going through? Could it be so? Could it be that the fuel subsidy removal is not affecting them directly? Could it be a lot of questions to ask? We are still waiting to see what the federal government would do concerning this, even though it's more like they are going to hold on the strike for at least some days and see what they will definitely do. Now, let's look at the next story for today. On health. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has frowned upon the festering practice of employing medical doctors as casual workers instead of giving them permanent employment. The association said it was particularly worrisome that the practice was gaining ground a massive manpower shortage in government hospitals across the country. The resident doctors say the manpower gaps had resulted in a higher workload on their members in the country as they asked the federal government to meet the demands of the organized labor. The report added that the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Patel, last week decried that developing countries like Nigeria continue to lose their highest trained health professionals to developed countries that did not invest in their first professional educations. Patel, however, said the federal government was taking responsibility and starting to rebuild the national health system, improve its governance, strengthen public health capacities, and unlock our healthcare values. Collaborating the concern raised by the minister, not noted that bigger health facilities in the countries were bearing the greater brunt of the shortage in manpower. On the issues affecting recruitment process for healthcare workers at the Federal Hospital Lokoja, the resident doctors, the OGM calls on all others to impress on the MD of the FTH Lokoja to expedite the legitimate recruitment process for healthcare workers to bridge the massive manpower gap, pledging the nation. It added the OGM urged the federal government of health and social welfare and all other relevant stakeholders to expedite the IPPIS capturing of members at the Obafemi Obolowo University Teaching Hospital complex. The OGM calls on the federal government to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians and meet the demands of the Labour Congress. This is not, it's not a new thing. Since last year, of course, we are all aware that a lot of medical doctors have moved away from Nigerians to abroad in seeking for greener pasture. Some of them complain that the working environment is not conducive, the work environment is not conducive. Lots of them say the payment is not enough to cater for their family, their welfare. Many of them say that the government does not really care about their professions. They are working as casual staff, meanwhile they are permanent staff. So a lot of them have moved outside Nigeria. And one who asks, do you think that the government is not aware? I remember when the Lagos State Governor said, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, that he's going to do something about it to make sure he will bring that have traveled outside countries. He's going to make the environment conducive for them. And he's going to make them so comfortable. But why we have not done anything. We believe that maybe he's doing something about that. But my question is, how long will government keep promising us? I don't know if you're there, Mr. Amos. How long will the government keep giving us all of these promises that they are going to do something about the health sector, are going to do something about the health sector? Patients are dying daily as they go. But it seems they are turning deaf ear. Now they are saying that the NLC is very right at their decision. The government should do something, should listen to NLC, increase minimum wage to at least something higher, something better, something that will befit the economic situation in Nigeria, something that help Nigerians to start somewhere, because so many persons are stuck. The residents of medical doctors are saying NLC, they are very much right. So the government needs to do something. But do you think that the government will come up with something reasonable? That is the question. Well, we will just go on a very short break. When we return, we'll continue with this story. Imagine.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
This is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Amos, for coming on the show. That was a good analysis. Thank you so much. And if you miss out, you can join us on all our media platforms: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. You can also join us on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for joining us, and continue to join us on ATN socials. Good afternoon. I am Immaculata Irikana.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.